So guys, I came out to the car the other day and found that the rear badge had fallen off, which looks brilliant. Someone has badly painted underneath it. Is that a wrap? Oh, that might actually just be a piece of vinyl wrap there by the looks of it. Peel off. Anyway, so I've been driving around with that missing for a couple of weeks now, whilst I was trying to decide what would be the best action to replace it. So I had a look and I decided to just get the whole complete unit from a Mark 6, and I'm just going to put that whole thing on. I had a black badge on there before, but what I have actually done is I've got the Mark 6 one, and I've actually put a carbon fibre inlay in there with a bit of carbon fibre wrap that I had lying about in the garage, which is, not the best in the world, but I think it looks slightly modded without it being too in your face. I'm going to go ahead and get the Mark 5 one out of the car and replace it with the Mark 6 one, and to do that it's a case of just loosening your rear wiper, loosen that off, take all your trim panels out inside, which I have already done. Made a little start on that. I've had to loosen off the wiper motor so I can get to the screw that's here, which I've taken out, and let's just take these two screws out. So the tools are there. But it's a case of really just whiz this out. Oh, there we go. Anyway, twist and it comes out. So I'm just going to put the phone down while I just get that clip out. Now, actually looking at this, I know that by changing from the Mark 5 to Mark 6, you actually sacrifice that nice soft close there. They probably cut costs with the unit when they go from the Mark 5 to the Mark 6, because this is actually metal, which I never realised. Whereas the new one is plastic. But to be honest, I think that's going to look just fine. So I'll go ahead and put this in and show you what it looks like. So guys, what I have decided to do whilst I've got the badge out here, you can see that it's starting to bubble and rust. So whilst I've got this opportunity, I'm actually going to put a load of rust treatment in there and just try and get that to maybe stop going any further. I'll just absolutely coat that inside in rust treatment, and hopefully it won't then start to bubble out of the badge and down the boot. So when it does, that's a whole new boot job, and that's an absolute nightmare. So yeah, I'll get the rust treatment on there, see if that can clean that up a bit. So this is the rust treatment, just a pot of hammerite crust. It transforms rust to a stable surface in just 15 minutes. So I've just got a tiny little paintbrush. It's just a case of applying it straight into the hammerite, giving it a little wiggle around, and then applying it liberally to the problem area. Now this does dry black. It doesn't stay blue, it reacts with the rust and it dries black, so it's not noticeable. My intention with this is to just try and prolong the life of the boot a little bit longer before visible rust patches appear underneath the badge. At this point guys, it actually started to rain quite heavily as I was waiting for it to dry, so I had a mad rush just to get that boot badge back on so I didn't end up with a boot full of water. Fortunately, because of this, I didn't get any finishing shots of what it looks like after, but I'm going to combine this video with another little boot mod. So unfortunately, shortly after this video, my rear wiper arm decided to droop and then snap off. So instead of replacing the wiper arm like a normal person would, we'll do a controversial mod instead of it. So we are left with this horrible little nub. Now, I did leave that nut on, so it doesn't look like I've just tried to delete it badly. And we've just ran with that for quite a while now, really. And I think it's time we did something about it. So I have actually got with me a wiper delete blank from Euro Equipped. Find them on Instagram, Facebook, etc. And I'm going to put that in place of this little bung here. Essentially, this kit, pretty cheap. I think it was about £4 or £5 or something. And it's essentially just a little piece of plastic cut out to fit the rear window. So we're going to get that boot panel off, and then there should just be 3 bolts for the wiper motor, which should just unscrew, unbolt, and then we can pull the whole wiper motor out. Bang a bit of silicone on that, shove it in and leave it overnight, because we have actually got some decent weather and we're not predicted any rain. So I will swap to tripod and just remove this boot trim. So the first thing is to get off this plastic boot cover. So all you need to do for here, there's 2 bolts under here, which I'm sure there's plenty of videos online. Mine are missing, and that one is also missing, and my cap here is missing for some reason, I don't know. But then essentially once they're out, you just pull it off and it should just come off nicely. So as you can see here, these metal clips sometimes get stuck in the boot lid. Some of them here have disappeared, which is fine. I'll just pull them out before we put this cover back on. But yeah, pretty easy. So the next thing to do is remove these few bolts here. 1, 2, 3, and that should then pull this whole unit out. So yeah, let's do that. So all you need to remove these 3 bolts is the elusive 10mm socket if you've still got one. Luckily, I still do. What I did forget to mention is you've got just a clip here going to the power to the washer motor, and you've also got the washer fluid pipe coming up here. So I think that just unclips. Yep, nice and easy. That should just come off like that. Probably just need to get something to shove in that to block it off, just in case you catch the rear wash wiper. Just to stop you blasting water all in your boot. But yeah, that's that out. See it dripping a bit there. And the next thing is to just remove this little plastic plug here. Nice and easy with these little grabby pinchy tool things. It came off like a breeze. So now that those are disconnected, the whole thing should pull out. Aha! Ta-da! That was way easier than I thought. So now that that's all removed from there, I'm just going to zip tie these 2 cables to this one here. And then that just keeps them all nice and tidy, not going to be rattling about anywhere. So that's now looking nice and tidy at the rear here. I'm just going to find something to probably shove in there just to blank that off, or even just put a bit of glue in it or something. I'm not quite sure on that yet, but I'll probably do that before I put everything back together. What I'm going to do next is just take out this rubber bung here, which should just push out through the boot. Aha! And we are left with a nice dirty surface there. So next, all you want to do is just get, a wet rag or some car shampoo, or I'm going to use some quick detailer, and I'm just going to quickly spray that little area of the window there, just with some quick detailer, just to lift off some of the grime. Obviously there might be arguments, people in the comments saying, oh, why are you using that, it's got protection in it. But to be honest, you use it to get dirt off your car when you're driving around anyway. I suppose you could wash it or do whatever you want, but as far as I'm concerned, go over it with that, and I'll just go over it with a bit of glass cleaner afterwards. Do the same on the inside. And then it's into the garage with the Tiger Seal. You could probably use any waterproof sealant, but I had Tiger Seal lying around the garage that hadn't gone off yet. But you can see here, I've just used a sharp pointy stick thingy, shoved it in there and wiped it around the outside. I didn't see any point in using the nozzle for the Tiger Seal really, as it would just put too much on. The front is obviously covered with a little protective cover, so I don't really care about getting it on the front either. You just want to make sure there's a nice coating around the outside that's not going to have any gaps in for water to leak through. So that's the bung now in the window. It's a bit dark, so I'm not going to be able to get a good idea of what it actually looks like. So I think when we've got a bit more daylight tomorrow, I will give the car a quick wash and then check back with you then, and you can see what it looks like. So yeah, see you tomorrow. And so it is a new day. The car is absolutely filthy. So the first thing to do is to give that a quick clean. Finito.
It honestly always surprises me when I wash this thing just how much the Tornado Red pops, especially against the grey and the black all over the car. But that's not what we're interested in here. We are interested in the boot. So without further ado, let's take a look at it. And so there you have it, one wiper delete and one updated rear badge. You might have also seen that we have updated the number plate on here. That is something a bit special that's coming in the next video, maybe the video after that, because the front of the car also looks a little bit different. But I'm saving that for the next one, or the one after that. But we can all agree that looks way better. I think the only thing that I really want to do on this now, if you kind of forget about the number plate, is those rear lights. Now, they look okay, but personal preference, I'd rather have some OEM ones or some R32 style. So I need to pick some of them up, but that'll be in some future video when I get around to it. But as of now, guys, I think that looks way fresher. I'm super happy with that. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. And as usual, guys, if you like the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one when we have big things for the front end. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you then.